Hello, doggies. Be nice.
Then join Peg Jones on OTC Bars Wednesday's Whispers. Peg will guide you to just a glimpse of heaven through her knowledge of angels. Join Peg Jones for Wednesday's Whispers, only on OTCR.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Peg Jones, and welcome to Wednesday's Whisper. Yeah? Okay. Welcome to Wednesday's Whispers. I'm an angelic life coach, a teacher, author of the book Living in the Voice with Your Angels, Daily Angelical Whispers throughout the year. Energy, also an energy distant healer. And I am going to be airing my show each Wednesday night. I had taken some time off in December, but I am back now. Our the end of the year and the beginning of our new year, and so I just wanted to share some information that I had received. Feel free to write in the chat box on Spreaker.com, and or you can go to the OTC chat room too. You will have to register to be a member to get into that chat. I'm also a co-owner of Off the Cuff Easing, and I help with recruiting. I have the information on our website. So I think if you go to applications, you will find information about being on the easing and also signing up for that. So this year, our first issue came out, and it's at the beginning of the first of the year. We're always very hopeful, and I think we're particularly hopeful this year because of basically what maybe has happened on a global level and or a domestic level, and also probably personally. I think that at every level you could possibly think of, there have been a lot of different challenges. And last year was a 9 year. So, and in numerology, that means it's the end of a cycle. And so we have left behind us what really no longer serves us. We have left behind possible way is that way, that in many ways it's kind of how we perceive what it can be. And when we look for the gifts in specific situations, we see the growth of possibly why that had happened, and it's just kind of a new way of it's just kind of letting go of what we don't really need, and also and when we think about it, we are people of habit, and we're a product of our experiences and patterns of how we see different situations and how we react to them. So I think in many ways we have learned that personally and as a society too. We receive a lot of different ideas too. And the angels ask us to kind of be mindful of that and to seek where that expansion of energy, how that expansion energy is for you. And they also ask us to set our intentions of what we want to do in our lives, whether it's relationships, careers, enrichment, education, goals for our family, for ourselves. And, is there something that you want to change that, to really, and as we're doing that, to set some intentions for ourselves, goals, and also asking the angels and even your spirit guide for guidance, for helping you to see the possibilities, and the angels will never speak with us unless we ask them, because they do believe in free will, and they also, they're not beings that will give us our fortune, but they will help us. In many ways, it's all equal, but it's helping us. I just wanted to take this time to say that I'm going to be doing some events in the Boston area this month and next month. I'm starting a circle in Beverly, Mass, and it's going to be 1 month, and each month we're going to have a new theme. I'm working with different angels. This month we're going to be speaking about goal setting and different ways the angels have shown me through what they've had to say and research that I have found and used to help myself and to help others too. And we're going to be working with Archangel Metatron and Archangel Gabriel and I believe Archangel Raphael that night. And we'll be doing some meditation and some inspirational writing. And also, I think taking 1 or 2 goals and kind of going through the process that I have found and the angels have helped me to kind of perfect over the years. Also, in February, I'm going to be also doing a angel circle, and we're going to be speaking about the relationship angels. I think basically it's not so much relationship with others, it's the relationship we have for ourselves or with ourselves, and how the angels tell me that that's just as important as having relationships with others too, because when we're comfortable with ourselves, and we are, then we are comfortable with each other too, and we can kind of they say it all starts with the activities, and so that's what I have for the angel circle for the next 2 months. And then in February also, on the next 4 Sundays from the 12th through March 5th, I will be doing a more comprehensive class for the next 4 weeks on the romance angels, and we'll be focusing on Valentine's Day the first time, and what the angels what the romance angels tell us about that. And then the next 3 weeks we'll be talking about, there's 6, Doreen Virtue has virtually spoke of 6 angels that she considers to be romance angels. So we'll be talking about probably 2 angels a week, and doing journaling and visualization and everything. And that's going to be in Amesbury, Massachusetts. And if you have any questions, you can ask me. Also on my calendar on my website at pegsangelicalwhispers.com. So that's what I have so far. I don't know what else is going on for now, but I am developing more classes, and I'm finding out about different places where I can do classes too. And so, and back to what I was talking about being mindful of and being mindful of the gifts that come to us, daily life. And I'm being very general, but I think that we all have different goals and needs, and they also say to be sure, to learn about discernment in all areas too, where we're asking for guidance and coming upon new situations, but also knowing that your angels are with you every step of the way. They also speak very clearly of forgiveness, and that doing some type of almost like a forgiveness ceremony to help you to kind of clean the slate, for the next year. I had the privilege of attending such a ceremony the other night, and we were basically asked to just write down concepts, specific issues in our life that we know are. Okay, and I'm back for the end of my show. So we talked about letting go and forgiveness, and I wanted to share tonight's message. I didn't really look at the message until I had finished writing some things that I wanted to discuss, and I just wanted to share it from my book tonight. It's for January 4th. It says, Let the good times roll, let the fun begin. A new year is upon us, and we are ready to manifest good things. How your year will be is your choice. Your angels and your guides are with you. They will not interfere with your free will. They will help when you ask for help. The choices are yours, and know there is no pressure in any direction. Think about your dreams and what you would like help with. When you focus on the one thing that you want to manifest, be with how you are being helped when you are doing there and what you are doing to help this to happen. And then our exercise is there something you would like to ask the angels for help with? Think about it and journal about it. So I guess I basically just repeated what I was just talking about, but I think that the angels are really about asking us to kind of let go of some of the fear that we may have been feeling in the past year. To just almost be observant and, but also know that, we'll be together can also, I think as a whole, we are more aware, and I really feel like we are going to work together, because I think we've seen it on different at different times, especially during the fall, the angels really ask us to remember that prayer and peaceful thinking and action can really help different life situations that we are finding that are coming about. And we have lived in a society for so long of the need for conformity, or the expectation of total conformity in all aspects. And we're a product of this life learning of how to act and speak. And in many ways, we were never given a chance, I think, to totally express, because we never totally understood that we had that choice. I think in many ways we did things that we thought we had to do, or things that were expected of us. And I also feel that I think a lot of us are beginning to see that we want different options. That we're becoming more aware. We're not so asleep as maybe we may have been, or it's almost like we're beginning to learn how to live outside the box, to really be truly who we want to be and who we are. I believe that this is a sign of our awakening and of self-understanding and purpose. And we're learning, this is all the angels are telling me too, we're learning we can set boundaries, and that we're living more in the heart space and not so much in the head and the ego. We're doing what our soul and our higher self is helping us to see and to remember. And so the angels, I think we all know this, but I think the angels wanting to remind us and to truly know that they're here. The veil between them and us is really a lot closer than we probably realize, and they are here to help us and to protect us. So as I said earlier, it's a year of expansion, a year of change, a year of new ways of doing things. The angels really ask us to, bring the light into our lives, to ask for it to be there, and to know that it is there too, to recognize it being there. So I guess I'm going to go back to the chat and see if anyone is there, if they have any questions. Sprinkles, do you have any questions?
Yes, Peg. I have a question. This is 2017 now. So numerology is, and what you're saying, I'm also getting from the angels with that as well, is that this is a brand new beginning, a new year, because it comes down to one, the number one.
Right.
So now we have an opportunity to move forward, and like you were saying, how the angels were directing us to look more positively, to bring it about, and not let things from the past holding us back. So do you think that the angels, which I believe from some of your radio episodes, that you were saying how they constantly will access.
Mm-hmm. And I think that they're also letting us know that we do have a voice, that we do need it to speak out, but it needs to be in a way that is peaceful, and not reactive. And we've seen that on some fronts, but it's go on.
I was just going to say, because we do have challenges, we're not going to be free of the challenges that we get.
Right.
But the thing is that I think that especially during last year, there was so much going on, so many lives that were lost, and so many burdens that have been heavy, that this is a time for lifting not only of our spirits, but of our self-worth, and a bunch of other stuff. So I know you're more in tune to how they relate to us in our physical forms, and how we can go for a better self-improvement.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, the angels remind us that we are worthy, and we're finding out that a lot of, our health issues are due to a lot of what we are ingesting too, and so they're asking us to be mindful, and also to become more simple, and to maybe to look for food that is more simple too, and because we know a lot of the addictive substances, that a lot of people have a lot of trouble ingesting in moderation, basically.
Which angel would be best call upon for giving oneself strength, to overcome these challenges that we had then, and the strength to kind of hold up and stand tall, and don't let it get you back down again, to move forward? Which angel would give you the strength to call on?
Well, I think that there's several. I think one is Archangel Michael, and he's the angel that, he's an angel of protection and safety. He's also the angel that helps us with our integrity, and and speaking the truth when maybe we may not have addressed it before. Whether it's between co-workers, family, or if it's like a public speaking of some type, to ask him for strength and a balancing of our throat chakra. And and there's different ways you can do that. You can wear blue, a lot of blue, especially around your neck, because that's where the throat chakra is located. And Archangel, you'll know when Archangel Michael is around because of the energy. You may feel sudden warmth. And it's a very, and feeling too, our clairsentience, understanding, and that's a lot of what I teach. In fact, that's what my 10-week class is all about, is understanding the connection with each angel and how they can help us each day in our life. And another angel is Archangel Raphael. He is the angel that represents healing of emotional and physical issues, and he's also like the patron angel for nurses and doctors and medical people. And also he works very closely with energy healers. I know I have, when I'm doing energy healing, whether it's distantly or hands-on, and it's mostly distantly, I know that he's there, and you can ask, like, if there maybe is some type of chronic issue or something, or or even not chronic, you can ask for that, for his green healing energy light to be there in that area or space, or with that person in a whole.
Okay. I know you mentioned about what we're putting into our bodies and seeking help through the angels with that as well. But how does one go about doing that as far as the food intake and stuff like that? So, I mean, how can the angels direct us in that way?
My case for a very long time, and I finally made the choice last year to begin to listen, I did let go of some weight, and now I was just speaking with someone today. I'm back on the wagon. The holidays are over, and so sugar, so I'm done with sugar. And I've been doing okay, and they'll direct you to nutrients, vitamins. I mean, people will too, but if you almost like have that affirmation and with them in mind too, I know for myself it does help. But so many times there's life issues, situations that that totally, that you're totally in focus, so you're doing, you're in reaction mode, especially if it's so.
Well, the body is supposed to be our temple, and
right.
The cleansing of our temple can. The only thing I can see that happening with that is an improvement in our spirit. Okay, because that's where we house our spirit.
Right.
Is there within our bodies. So yeah, thanks, Peg. That was answer.
Also,
go ahead.
Like Doreen Virtue, who is one of the forerunners of helping us to understand the angels on a more personal basis. She has always advocated, vegetarian diet. No meat. Eating vegetables and fruit.
like angels? Would you like to know about angels? Then join Peg Jones on OTCR's Wednesday's Whispers. Peg will guide you to just a glimpse of heaven through her knowledge of angels. Join Peg Jones for Wednesday's Whispers, only on OTCR.
Hello, and I'm back. I'm Peg Jones, Wednesday's Whispers, and what I thought I would do is pick some cards from my Archangel Raphael card deck, and I did have Archangel Michael, but they didn't come with me for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. I picked the Archangel Raphael cards instead, which I have on my phone, but that's okay. I have another deck on my phone that I can use after. So, like I said earlier, Archangel Raphael is all about healing body, mind, and spirit. So, you know you're old when you can't read the writing on something. Okay.
Oh, yes.
And of course, my camera's not coming on. I can't even get to it there it is. Okay, now I see it. And so the card that was hydration. Archangel Raphael, thank you for motivating and guiding me to drink more water so that my health, energy, and appetite stay at optimal levels throughout each day. And I think we're learning that water is important to drink each day, clean spring water. It's not only, it just kind of keeps us alert. And it also, gets rid of toxins maybe that we really don't need. And like the card says, it keeps us hydrated because we can get dehydrated. And it's even if you're in a cold climate or a warm climate, because especially in the wintertime when it's cold here back east, it can be very dry, and if you don't have a humidifier or just a humidifier, or if a window's not open, it can get pretty dry. So it's not only for dehydration, but it's also, I think, for your skin. I think it. Coffee.
Yeah. So we're drinking coffee, but we're not because we're taking water first in the morning. Which is, this is really it's so fitting. Take the water first in the morning. You awaken your cells, your body to it.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
And then when you have
your
the
organs.
Coffee, it'll taste so different if we try that. And I did, and it worked. Go ahead.
For years, I couldn't drink water in the morning, but probably the last 10 years, it's like I do it every morning now, because I do wake up so dehydrated because of the dryness in my house and the inconsistent temperature that seems to come. And I can tolerate it. I wasn't even able to tolerate it for years. But yeah, I think I pretty much every day have to have a glass of water in the morning, and then I have my coffee. And my iced coffee usually is what I have on my way to somewhere. I'm really not a big hot coffee person unless it's really, really cold. Dehydration. So,
and the other things, Peg, that it's fascinating that the card came up is because there is so much going on about our drinking water.
situation, and it's persistent, and I think that that's what the angels were really talking about too, is
Yeah.
to not react, uh, yeah, in a way that is, that can be violent, or just,
Right.
I mean, in word and in action too,
Exactly.
and I know, and sometimes when, at least for me, when I was seeing all this, um, I found just listening to music and just kind of being prayerful, trying kind of just kind of going within and not really paying attention to what everyone else is saying. And it did help me, because there were situations that were upsetting. And it just kind of made me just kind of not. I just wasn't reactive. It was almost like I was told to just kind of observe and see, um, what happens, but also, to
Perceive the
to
calmness about it coming about.
yeah, yeah, and to work together to have that too, and I think that I had heard something about on Cryon, was a channel who is, I guess, an entity or a group of entities, like what Esther Hicks channels, and he was talking about how proud they are. Our vibration has elevated, and that we are going, that we are going to be okay, basically, and that we have learned a lot in the last, I don't know, I think they said like 2,000 years, or I mean, it was
Wow.
an amazing amount of years, and it's Chiron or Cryon, I guess it's Cryon, not Chiron, is has like channels like every other day or every day even, and it's almost better than reacting, in a negative way,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, it's making the body and the mind rest for it to think it out and to react to it.
And it's self-care too,
Yes.
and I think, in many ways, we're learning about that. We're learning, why there are things that we go to, or we, when, which is basically because of fear, or it's because of anger, or whatever, guilt, or something. And so it's, in many ways, I think we're learning different ways of, of dealing with fear and upset and all that. So, and it's interesting, the things that were said about, the Native American, over the years, and we're seeing a total opposite. We're seeing the peaceful and the,
Yes.
and I mean, it's, and how civilized they and spiritual, that they are, and it's quite wonderful to see, and it's wonderful how we are all working together,
Yes.
and
It's making a stronghold, and
yeah,
it's just going out all over the place. I definitely agree.
and the Native Americans coming together after a couple, at least a couple of hundred years of not, because they were basically kept apart. They're working together too, and there's been a lot of milestones and a lot of progress, I think. So.
Hello and welcome. You're listening